Hey guys, another day and another episode of From House Arrest to the Ephesians. And we've been studying these because Paul is under house arrest while he's writing some of these books, and we kind of feel like we're under house arrest because we're stuck at home. And so we're studying and we're looking at kind of what Paul's thinking about and what he's writing about while he is under house arrest. Today we're going to be in Ephesians chapter 5, and we're going to read verses 4 through 10. And here, Paul is going to be talking about not having your mind on obscene things. Let's go ahead and read together.
But sexual immorality and all impurity or covetousness must not even be named among you, as is proper among the saints. Let there be no filthiness, nor foolish talk, nor crude joking, which are out of place, but instead let there be thanksgiving. For you may be sure of this, that everyone who is sexually immoral or impure, or who is covetous, that is, an idolater, has no inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and God. Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of these things the wrath of God comes upon the sons of disobedience. Therefore do not become partners with them. For at one time you were darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. For the fruit of light is found in all that is good and right and true, and try to discern what is pleasing to the Lord.
Okay, so here he's talking about some things that are really actually pretty prevalent in our culture. Sexual immorality, impurity, and covetousness. All these things are things we see in movies and TV shows and even songs and art and all these different things that are part of our culture. These are the things that are everywhere. And he says here in verse 3 not to even name them among ourselves. We're not even supposed to talk about them. And he says, don't let there be any foolishness, this foolish talk or filthiness in your talk or crude joking, because that stuff's out of place. It's out of place in the way that we think and in the way that we talk. And he gives a suggestion on what to replace it with: thanksgiving. And he's basically saying that, all of these things that are popular in culture and the misuse of things that God has given us is out of place in this new kingdom that we're living in. Jesus has won over death and created this new kingdom, and we are members of it, and we're supposed to be living in a way that's bringing more people to it. So if we're doing that, we can't be getting sucked in to the things that the world thinks are important. And so he says that the world is actually going to probably do a pretty good job of convincing us that these things are good even. I don't have to go through examples of, you can look around and see things that are clearly opposed to what the Bible has to say about sexual immorality or about, the way that we live our lives in impurity. And we can see that the world tells us that not only are those things not bad, but they're actually good and they're wise. And I think he's warning against being deceived by that stuff. A lot of these claims are empty and they're just really not true. Although they sound good and they're in pretty wrapping and they make you feel like it's probably right, they're wrapped in lies. And he says, therefore, do not become partners with them. For at one time you were in darkness, but now you have light in the Lord. A lot of times Christianity gets a bad rap for people saying that you have to stop thinking and be taken by Christianity. But I think the Bible tells us really we should be stronger thinkers. We should be some of the people who think through the hardest and think through the hard questions. And what he's saying is when we become Christians, we're actually coming out of the darkness and lies, and we're coming out of, not thinking for ourselves. And we're coming into truth and light, and we're seeing the world for what it really is, not cheap imitations that the world tells us are just as good and if not better, but the true thing, and discern what is pleasing to the Lord. And I think we find out that these things actually improve our life, and they're actually pleasing to us as well. So we'll pick up there tomorrow. See you guys then. Bye. Love you. Miss you.